All right, I believe now is the board report. So thanks, Superintendent Kingsley.
You bet. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you again for all that's been involved in the various celebrations and acknowledgments this evening. It's a great start to 2024, so Happy New Year to everybody. I'm hopeful as we reopened our schools to students today that everybody had an opportunity to enjoy loved ones and celebrations over the holiday and winter season. I know I personally had the opportunity to spend time resting, reflecting on all that I am personally grateful for as the superintendent of the school system, but for just having each other and being a part of this incredible community. As we think about the work that we will be talking about tonight and the work throughout the course of this year, there's no question about it that what's on the horizon for us as a district and for us as a community, there will be some difficult challenges ahead. But like our students and teachers who just represented us so proudly, I sit here strongly with hope, with optimism, and the deep understanding that we can do hard things together, and I know that we will. I'm so grateful that we had a chance to recognize the significance of Monday, honoring and celebrating the legacy and the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I do want to invite our entire community to join the march at the Oval that starts promptly at 11 a.m. Jill, thank you for the acknowledgement of the shift in venues. There's a celebration event that is open to the whole community at 12:45 at the Lincoln Center, and I look forward to seeing many members, if not all of us, there that afternoon. You know, as I've been thinking about the importance of that day and the importance of our work, some writings that I came across were by a scholar and professor at the University of Tennessee by the name of Dr. Shayla Nanali. And she talks about in some of her works that Dr. King acknowledged the complicity of American institutions in racial discrimination, but he also believed in their power to facilitate in democracy, in theory, and practice. Again, as Gilda said, it starts with us. I share in Dr. King's optimism and hope. I know that this entire district does as well. And as you think about the significance of his work, his campaign at the time of his life was to reorder our national priorities, to think differently together about them, to recognize that every person deserves a great education, access to great health care, a decent job, and a viable income, not just as a member of this great nation, but as a human right. When I think about and reflect over the course of this past several weeks, that's what this district embodies, what it's trying to accomplish for all of its students through great work with teachers and partnerships with parents and families. And we have to continue to be courageous, to be informed, and to be intentional in all of our efforts in recognizing that access is not enough, that belonging and dignity are equally as vital as access. As we talk about tonight about our district budget, there's no doubt that we are resource constrained. I still think it's our obligation as leaders and servant leaders in this community to lead from a place of abundance. But as we talk about our budget today, I want us to think about some of the misnomers that exist in our community that we need to fight for, to advocate, to ensure that we have all of the resources, not just to impact everybody, but especially our most marginalized. You know, there's an assumption that exists in our community that as a result of property increases that have taken place over the past year, that there is going to be a windfall of cash into the coffers of our district. And I want to acknowledge that we get that question a lot, and the answer to that is simple. We don't get any more money as a result of new property taxes. What happens is the state actually decreases their share to the proportion of what they give per pupil to our district. And we need to continue to advocate and fight, and there's stances and charges that are happening at the state level to advance more money coming into public education, which we collectively are grateful for. But I also want to advance the message we still need to do more. I'm also incredibly proud that as we think about our budget, our values are aligned to how we spend our money. And our district has prioritized several things over the course of the past several years. But one of the other presentations tonight that I'm excited about is talking about our literacy efforts and continuing to invest and engage and think thoughtfully around how we resource our schools and resource our teachers. And so later on this evening, we will have a presentation on the future of curriculum for our 9th and 10th grade English language arts courses. We know that that's not just an important conversation for our teachers and for principals and for you as a governance team, but we know families, parents, students want to know what they will be learning about, what they will be reading about, what they'll be thinking about in those particular courses. And so the significance of tonight's presentation is to be transparent around how to get engaged in that particular process moving forward. So I'm excited to be back. I know a lot of people were under the weather, including myself, throughout the holiday season, but to have the opportunity to sit on the dais with all of you, it feels really good, and I'm looking forward